Tonight's episode is brought to you by the movie Seven. If you know, you know. Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed. After Stephanie confronted Liv on Raw, the Baron almost wasn't here for the show tonight. Max Magus is dropping more of the same bad news. All of this and more next on Ramblers Unleashed.
This video contains gratuitous use of profanity and uncomfortable pauses to compensate for lack of professionalism and original thought. Viewer discretion advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
Hold on, that just gave away the whole goddamn surprise, dude.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Ramblers Unleashed, your weekly episodic podcast for news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and sometimes more. Let's introduce the Ramblers, shall we? Up first, the man who is higher than a jet airliner and whose signature catchphrase is and always will be
420.
That's right. Round of applause for the Baron. All right, up next, the other member of the Ramblers crew. For without you, we'd just be some idiots talking to each other on a video call. Give it up for yourselves over there in the chat. All right, first off, let me start off with some bad news. I know speculation is running rampant that maybe it's Jericho in the box. It is not Jericho in the box. I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but as of 2 hours ago, he is still on the AEW roster. All right? Bad news, he's not free yet. Now, I'm not pulling up a story for this, but I'm not going to give anyone credit for this rumor. I'm just going to say this rumor is 100% false. There is a rumor floating around on the internet that Royce Keys has been fired by the WWE. If you have to make some dumb shit up to get interaction, stop. Don't do that. Royce Keys is still working for the WWE. They didn't sign him and allow him the new name for a one-time Royal Rumble appearance. And yes, he picked the name for those that don't know that. All right, guys. Up first. No? We didn't get the soundbite? Damn. All right. I'll just do it myself. What's in the box? What's in the box? We don't have to wait till Elimination Chamber to find out what's in the box. We here at the Ramblers know what's in the box. And we're going to tell you right now. We have a special, slightly spoiled surprise for you. Tonight, a segment I've been wanting to bring back for a very long time. However, unlike normal, I don't have a story for him for this. Instead, we have an update for from the man himself. In a very special off the top rope, we will get to hear what's going on with someone very special to this show. So please, welcome. And by welcome, I mean round of applause. The man with the golden voice, my best friend, the one, the only, Dizzy.
Hey, now you can bring me in.
You know what? Not a single fucking person in chat seen it. We were good.
I don't know who to blame. You were blaming Courtney. I don't know who to blame. I blame Vince Russo. That's who I blame. That's who I blame for that botch. It was a big botch, Vince. You suck, Vince.
Before we get into this, I just want to say welcome in, Dizzy.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to start off with the off-the-top rope segment so you can tell everybody whatever you want to tell them. It's your forum. You say whatever you want. I'm not going to get involved in what you say. Okay. And if you want to stick around after, we're going to be discussing the Masked Man and what's in the box.
Okay. All right. It just depends on how late it goes, but thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm so happy being back. It's as you can see from the previous times that I've been on the show, this room is absolutely full. This room is empty now. I mean, look at it. There is nothing in here. The closet's empty. Everything behind me is gone. It's practically in St. Louis. Courtney,
there's a couple of crumbs right there.
There's a couple crumbs. Yeah, there's from the foam and all that to block out all the freaking noise. But first and foremost, I wanted to say that you guys have done such an amazing job in my absence. With thanks to CM Styles, thanks to you guys, keeping the show going. That means more to me than you'll ever know. So thank you for that.
No, thank you, Dizzy, for leaving the high guy
And the fat lazy bastard.
and the bastard to run the show and expect no botches to happen.
But I knew
you
that
know
the
what?
show-
Damn it, we're here.
I knew that the show was in good hands. That's why I left it with you guys, because I knew that you guys would take care of everything. I knew that would happen, and look what happened. You guys, I mean, we're on episode 103. Come on, this is awesome. This is progress, guys. This is progress.
You know, we have at least one botch per episode. We might have to change the name to Botches Unleashed.
Well, that's true. Sean, I'm glad that you said you've missed the golden voice, because I kind of have some good news. You know, I'm moving back to St. Louis in probably, I think, around the end of March. I'll officially be back in St. Louis full time, traveling back and forth for my job and things like that until I can find some sort of employment in St. Louis. Wish me luck. Pray for me. But with that being said, I hope to be back on this show in some form of part-time status, meaning every once in a while I'll come on the show and chop it up with the guys, because God, I miss talking about wrestling. I watch Raw all the time. I watch SmackDown as much as I can. I just got through watching TNA, and I'm thinking I have nobody to talk to about wrestling anymore, and it's sad, and I miss it. I miss talking about professional wrestling.
This is going to scare you all, but he even got through AEW last night because he misses talking about wrestling so much.
Well, let's not go that far. Let's not. I still can't watch that product, but I have missed talking about wrestling. I've missed talking to the fans. I've missed talking to you guys, and I don't know where Styles is. I know that he was recovering from his surgery, so we wish you well, brother. But I'm happy to be back, and again, it's probably going to be just like a part-time status that I'll be around, still letting these two guys run the show. But I'm here, and I'm ready to ramble. Damn it!
We fucking miss you, Dizzy. We cry every single show. I'm like, you know what? This fucking guy, Dizzy. We miss him deeply. It's always good whether you're here part-time, and don't forget that we're part-time. Myself and Max.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. How do you become a part-time for a part-time gig? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're on here every Tuesday and every Thursday, so
yeah, we haven't missed a Tuesday or Thursday at
Right.
all.
Yeah. So I mean, I consider you two full time, but for me, it's just going to be every so often that I can join.
Well, we'll have to get out the part-time contracts. Have to, your payments are going to go down. You're not getting the salary like you used to, Dizzy.
Son of a bitch! I gotta have that salary, man. I miss that money.
Wait, hold on. Dizzy was getting paid?
I mean,
Yeah, you weren't,
Oates, yeah.
Max.
You guys weren't paying me.
Oh,
Holy crap.
What?
I took on all of Dizzy's duties. See, I got it all typed up. And you guys weren't paying me a dime for all this?
Oh, I thought no. Hold on. I thought you said you were working pro bono. Is that not true? Is that
No.
false?
You said that. And I said, no, I need to negotiate a pay. And you're like, well, we'll get to that. And we never did.
Oh,
well, no, I thought in the contract it said you would work for a dime bag, and that was it. So that's what you've been receiving.
I mean, you know who you're paying. You know who the bank is.
I pay with real green,
Yeah, no shit.
not
Yeah.
the fake green.
May not pay your bills, but you'll feel really nice afterwards.
Why you got to make me miss Daryl like that?
But thank you guys again for letting me come on just for a little bit. I've missed you. I missed all of our wonderful viewers. And again, I haven't said this in a while. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, if you haven't hit that like button, do it right now. Damn it, because that tells YouTube that you like what these guys are doing, and that recommends our videos to our videos to more people.
And listen, there's a couple other things I want to point out. You see right here below Baron, like if you look right below him,
Yeah.
it has the description of the show. And we still have the Daphne LaShaunn fundraiser link down there. If you can, please go donate to that. I mean, it's really tragic. She lost several members of her family in a house fire. And I just want to see her helped as much as possible. So if you can, please click the link and give something to help out. Also, we have Rob Reisen's book right down there in the description, the link to go buy it. The book is called In Demand Indie. If you have any interest in pro wrestling, not just from the sitting there and watching it week in and week out, like we do, and then come and talk about it, please go check this book out. Reisen is a phenomenal talent. You may have seen him on NXT. You may have seen him on AEW. He was part of the Being Elite videos for a while. The guy is just amazing. Please go buy his book, show him some support, show him some love. And if he asks, tell him Max May just sent you, okay? It doesn't do anything for me, but I guarantee you it'll crack a smile if you tell him that I sent you to get the book.
So you know that, so you know him.
Oh, I know Rob Reisen. I'm gonna try and talk to him about possibly making a guest spot on the show at some point so he can tell you guys more about himself. I've known this guy since he was a kid. Now, I've always been a bad guy at the shows. We know this. It's something we've talked about. And there was a time when he was in a tag team back when I first met him. And that tag team was High Risk. And he and Jason would go out there and they would do some very fancy maneuvers. I mean, more fascinating than the Hardy Boys. And that's kind of who they were kind of modeling themselves after at the time. This guy has gone through some evolutions in his career. He is currently performing as the ringmaster. And there was a time way back when I would chant "eat a sandwich" at him from the locker room to where all the fans could hear, because he was, kind of a skinny guy. And one day we were talking on Twitter and I tweeted at him, "Eat a sandwich." And he's like, "You haven't seen me in a while, have you?" And I said, "No, it's been a while." He goes, "Dude, I ate the sandwich. I ate the pizza. I ate the whole damn steak." Dude has bulked up. I promise you, go check out his book. It's well worth the time. I have my copy right back here behind me. I've been reading it. It's a good book. It really is. It really tells you how to get into the business if you want to do it, how to turn yourself into something marketable. But it's really worth the read, especially because it does give you an insight into what he has done for his career over the years. He has made himself a hot commodity. He doesn't do a lot of the big time stuff, but he does a lot. I mean, this guy is booked constantly. Check him out.
Yeah, check that out. Get that into the description of this video, and go buy his book. Hopefully, we can have him on the show soon.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to talk to him. I'm probably going to bring him around to introduce you guys, so that you guys get the chance to meet him and see a little bit about him before we actually try to set a date to bring him on. That way, when we do set a date, maybe we can set it on one of those part-time dates that Dizzy can be here and he can run the interview, because damn it, the golden voice needs to do the interview, not us idiots.
Well, I would absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
All right, I'll tell you what. Why don't we give Dizzy a little bit of entertainment while he's here tonight? Even if he doesn't stick around long after this, let's at least make him laugh. Guys, our first stop of the evening is going to be our very own Baron's Buzzkill. Now, over the years, we've seen some great crossovers, and we've mostly seen some terrible crossovers, though. This week in Baron's Buzzkill, we have an iffy crossover from Frightful Select. Raquel Rodriguez continues to push for a match with herself and Liv Morgan against Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Dating all the way back to 2023, Rodriguez and Morgan have both been open about wanting to face the rap superstars inside of the Squared Circle. Speaking with TMZ's Inside the Ring podcast for a new interview, Raquel continued to push for the match. Liv and I always talked about tagging against Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion. I still would love to tag against Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion, so we keep putting it out there because I think Liv and I versus them would be just be so iconic for our careers and their careers just because we're the greatest tag team of all time, and they're just great at what they do as well. Rodriguez also noted that she would like to share the ring with names like Carol G, Gina Carano, and Ilona Mar. Elsewhere in the interview, Rodriguez spoke about wanting to bring back her motorcycle entrance for WrestleMania. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I want to hear Baron's opinion on this. That's the whole reason I made this Baron's Buzzkill for tonight. But I'm going to be honest with you for this. I'm on the fence. I'm a little iffy. Listen, Raquel has come a long way ever since Diesel gave her the advice. And Liv Morgan is phenomenal in the ring. Baron, you know I've never denied that. You know, she is one of the best to step into the squared circle. I'm not going to deny that. But as I pointed out, when this whole thing started, we've seen some terrible crossovers, and this one feels like, Liv and Raquel are going to have to carry this match, in my opinion. But Baron, this is about your thoughts.
I mean, they smoking on some hard pack shit for that type of booking. I mean, of all the names you could throw out, why them two?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, would that even be iconic? I mean, I wouldn't even want to watch this with Liv being in it. And that's saying a lot, right?
It would be like getting Snoop Dogg back in the ring to take another bump. I'm just not sold on it.
I mean, listen, would this be better or worse than, say, Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville?
No.
Well, that was funny. That was a good match. Okay, I shouldn't say it was a good match, but that was like entertaining. Maybe this one can be like Liv is great in the ring. I don't think Raquel's all that great in the ring, right? So, like, when it comes to carrying two other people that have zero experience, it's gonna have to be Liv, right? I mean, yeah, somebody's smoking on some heavy pack, diesel gas, dinosaur, bubblegum, Kush, 1000 to have to think that was going to be a great booking. But you know what? That is some shit that I see WWE putting together, so it wouldn't surprise me.
I would be more sold to see Gina Carano in that ring against Liv and Raquel versus Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi freaking B. I'm not sold on that. Hell, give me Jelly Roll over against Liv and Raquel, and that would be more entertaining than that. You can't tell.
Is that actually like? Were they just like joking in the interview, or was this like a legitimate article? I got to know.
This is a legit article. Raquel wants this match. I've never heard Liv say it, but Raquel really
Liv's like, what the fuck?
They talked about this apparently on TMZ. I mean, they're serious about getting Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion in the ring for what, WrestleMania? Is that what they want?
They didn't specify a win in the article. They just want to do it at some point.
Couldn't be Mania. Liv is,
How about we get
one Rumble?
How about we get some WWE legends against Liv and Raquel? Why does it have to be rappers? Why does it have to be celebrities? Why can't we get some freaking legends in there, like Mickie James or somebody that we haven't seen in a while, Jacqueline, if she's still wrestling? Get a legend in there instead of these two rappers that I haven't even heard a single song from ever. Is that
I mean, wrestling has become the celebrity land again.
It has,
right? I mean, like
I know.
So they're at the social media thing where they just want viewers and they want eyes on the product more than what they were. Liv cannot be in a tag match at Mania with either one. She's going to. She won the Rumble. She won the Rumble.
She's in a singles match, probably against Steph.
Probably, and I think Raquel's even going to get lumped into that match.
Yeah,
maybe.
Sound off in the chat because we want to hear from you. Do you want to see Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion against Raquel and Liv? I want to hear them. Max, go ahead.
But here's another point I want to make about this, and whether you like the song or you don't, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion do have one of the biggest songs by female singers of all time. It's not something that I listen to. I've heard it, and I don't listen to it on a regular basis, but they do have that song that is very popular. If you don't know which song I'm talking about,
WAP.
I'm going to refer you to Google because I'm not giving the name out on the show due to the content of said name. And while I have never shied away from foul language or stuff like that on the show, let's just say that tonight I'm going to follow the advice of certain other people, and I'm not going to list that name off.
Oh, so I can? Do I get to list
Sure,
that
go
name
ahead.
off? We're talking about WAP, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Do you know there's an edited version of that song. It's called Wet and Gushy. So we could say Wet and Gushy.
Hey, you know, and like that's, I mean, dude, WWE is good about getting those celebrities in there. I got to give it to him. And like, I mean, this would not be like 6-star Tokyo Dome like Sean's saying, but I
Listen.
mean, it could be entertaining, right? I don't know, but if
We
Liv
don't-
is headlining it, then we should be good.
We don't rate matches under the Dave Meltzer, whatever the hell you want to call that system, okay?
Uncle Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Tell you what, let's move on.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I enjoyed every second of that, especially as soon as I said who it was that they were going to be facing and saw the look on Baron's face. Let's go ahead and let's move on to our next story. Look. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on just a freaking second. All right. I'm going to move on to this next story, but I'm going to put a question out to you first since you decided to show up and be in the chat. Where are you on your recovery? Because you haven't given us an update since you told us 32%. And damn it, man, you're part of this family and we need to know where you're at.
Yeah, and he just sent me a message on Facebook, and I had to snap a picture real quick to send back to him. Like, come on, join us, man.
All right. While you're working on answering that, if you were watching Raw, you saw a giant crate being delivered to Adam Pearce backstage. The delivery guy had no info for Pearce besides telling him what the crate said, which is do not open until Elimination Chamber. Pearce told the guy to send it to SmackDown for Aldis to deal with. And Bully Ray had some intriguing stuff to say about the crate. So we go to 411 Mania for this story. And Bully Ray says WWE crate angle has Vince McMahon all over it. Bully Ray is not a fan of the crate that popped up on WWE Raw, and he says the whole thing has Vince McMahon written all over it. As noted, a mysterious and person-sized crate appeared on Monday's Raw in a backstage segment. Now, let me be clear. You see me sitting here, okay? I am on camera with you right now. I know that everybody wants it to be Max Magis in the box. It is not. I am here. How can I be in the crate if I'm sitting here talking to you? All right?
It was me. I'm in the crate. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah, we opened it a little early. The crate noted that it was not to be opened until February 28th, the day of the WWE Elimination Chamber. Bully spoke about the box on Busted Open Radio and said he didn't like the angle, noting that it reminded him of McMahon. He also suggested it could have something to do with a potential Chris Jericho return to WWE. Once again, as I said at the start of the show, Jericho is still on the roster page, which means the odds of it being him are slim to none. I'm sorry to bring you that bad news, but let's continue with the story. On the segment last night had written, produced, and directed by Vincent Kennedy McMahon, written all over it. That's what I thought. And hey, to me, that's funny because that's something so typically Vince. I mean, The Undertaker was standing in front of a crate and a puppy came out. Seth Rollins was standing in front of a crate and Sting popped out. The gobbledygooker, they're like 0 for 3 for crates and things popping out of things. On it possibly being Jericho related. Chris Jericho arrived in the WWE in Chicago. Could the crate have anything to do with the returning Jericho? And I don't mean like Chris Jericho's in the crate because I just texted with him this morning and he's on tour in Europe, so he's not in the crate. Nobody's waiting in the crate because not for nothing, Chris Jericho popping out of a crate, I could never see Chris Jericho doing that. It is worth noting that as of now, Jericho is still believed to be under contract to AEW, which is what I said. Mm-hmm. Now, there has been a ton of speculation. The most common thing I hear is Jericho. What's going on, but we'll have to work around on a schedule here. Okay, we'll get back to you and we'll discuss that. There has been a lot of speculation on who's in the box. Jericho's one. Rollins, who we're going to talk about again here in a few minutes, because he's also under speculation for being something else. Bar and I were talking about this the other night, and we threw out a couple other names who are also still on the AEW roster page, so it can't be them. Here's my problem with this. As Bully Ray points out, the WWE has let us down almost every time they have done this. And most commonly, we see the gobbledygooker come out of stuff. And guys, the gobbledygooker is a fun little entertaining thing. You don't need him to pop out of stuff. Just have him walk out. It's fine. It might be Chainsaw Charlie. I'm not going to deny that.
Chainsaw.
That would be awesome.
Now, the funny thing is, when Bar and I were talking about this the other night, I sent him a gift. And I said, the way WWE does this shit to us every single time, I wouldn't be surprised if this is who's in the box. And it was the gift that went, "It's me, Austin. It was me all along." Guys, what do you think? What are your
I thought we
on-
determined who was in the box at the beginning of this fucking show. Dizzy was in the fucking box.
I told him, I said I was in the box. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The secret's out.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Chris Jericho angle, like, cool. Yeah, that's something I could see happening with him. But like you said, he's still on the roster. We talked about it the last show. You got to remember what this PLE is. Elimination Chamber, right? It's usually not a big PLE for the most part.
No.
They have like 3-4 matches. A couple times in the past, we've had some returns and debuts and stuff like that. Could this be Vinnie Mac? I hope not. I'm not. I just don't want to see him right now. That ain't a good time.
Let me see if I can give it a guess. And you guys may think that I'm very, very close with my guess, because I did a lot of studying on this, and I said, who could be in that box? Why is he sending it to? Why are we sending this box to SmackDown and Nick Aldis? And then it clicked on me. It just dawned on me. Stay with me on this. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh!
I think you're on it. I think that could be it. It could be so many people.
It could be, it could be Sergeant Slaughter. It could be, who else? The Junkyard Dog. It could be anyone. It could really be anybody.
I mean, this is true, but there are people that I hope it's not. And while
Hacksaw might be on top of that list.
and while I use Vince as an example of how this could just be yes, I will get right back to you, Sean. And while I use Vince as an example of this is how WWE screws us all the time, and it's always a big letdown, and it could be Vince because they always let us down. I hope it's not. I really do. And here's the thing. Part of that conversation I had with Barr, Danhausen was his suggestion.
See, I just don't think it is Danhausen because he's still on the AEW roster.
That's what I said too.
So
I pointed out.
I mean, like the AEW roster, they're currently on it, right? Like they could be pulled. To the day, there's so many things, but like
Sting was an exception when he was still with AEW, and then he went over to WWE for just like a brief second. That was just a.
He was under. I mean, he's always been on. He was on a Legends contract, right? So
yes.
I think that obligates him to be able to be wherever he wants. I could be wrong on that, but
isn't Jericho under a Legends contract too?
No, he's not. No. Okay. Here's, the masked man thing. Like the theory is Adam Pearce. People are saying it's Adam Pearce, in the mask. So, like, does that person align that's in the box? Who knows? It could be someone totally different.
That's not
it may not be.
I think it's Grayson Waller.
that's the second one that's been coming up a lot lately with who's behind that mask. Now, who's in that mask currently attacking people, I guarantee you is not the person that they're going to reveal. Right? Like WWE does this a lot of times. So like if it was a Chris Jericho, he's not going to be the one attacking people. They're going to have someone covering for him during that period of time, right? So like I don't have to be fitting back. I don't even know why that name's been thrown out there. It's just like it doesn't align with anything.
That was a me thing, and that was because with the way every time they do this, hey, we're going to open this box and show you what's in it or whatever it is, it's been a letdown. And the biggest letdown right now would be Vince McMahon returning. I'm sorry, but it would be. So I was exaggerating, but I was trying to give an example of how WWE could let us down on this. That's all that was. That wasn't an actual theory.
No, but it's not far-fetched theory, though.
This, honestly, with all this hype, this would be a massive letdown. Sean said it's going to be Finn Balor as a demon coming out of the box. That would be a freaking letdown for me.
Well, Finn is, he's got the big match at Elimination Chamber, right?
Yeah, he's in a title match. He's going up against CM Punk.
CM Punk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and who's been attacking? They've been attacking the Vision, right? They haven't really attacked anyone else. So that's why.
I mean,
it's either Seth Rollins or Chris Jericho. Those are the two people that are going to show out of this.
Yeah, the Vast Man's only gone after the Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Judgment Day has gone after Punk and AJ, ending what could have been one of AJ's best matches, in my opinion. I don't think it would have been better than the John Cena match because that was a work of art. But I mean, for me, it's got to be somebody who's not been seen for a while. And while the Demon could be fun, I don't think we see the Demon come out of the box. I think it's got to be somebody that wasn't even on Raw Monday night. Seth Rollins is a possibility, but I have a theory for Seth that tells me it's probably not him in the box. I don't think Jericho is free from his contract or even will be by Elimination Chamber. Plus, he's on his European tour for, I think, the rest of this month. I don't think he's back until after Elimination Chamber, but I could be wrong. But
here's what AI says, and I don't mean to cut you off. Here's what AI says. I just looked up what's in the box on Monday Night Raw, and it said, while officially unrevealed on air, speculation and theories suggest it could be a returning superstar, debuting wrestler, a new member of the Bloodline, or a cryptic message related to the Wyatt Six. That's what AI says. That's what Google told me.
The Wyatt Six would even be a bigger letdown for me.
Letdown,
right? Yeah. But the title on the box says "Delivered to WWE," right? Like it's almost like a symbol, like a message coming from somewhere else, meaning like another promotion or something along those lines. Yeah.
If anything, it's probably going to be the mystery attacker. I have a feeling it's going to be the mystery attacker. Here's what Yahoo Sports says. It could be either the identity of the mystery attacker, something related to the identity of the person during Adam Pearce's phone calls, Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis's surprise entry into the Elimination Chamber, or the return of Chris Jericho. And since Chris is still under contract with AEW, and I think he was going on some sort of a rock cruise or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if his availability will be open to be at Elimination Chamber in Chicago. It could be. I don't know. I have no idea.
You got to go back to the thing he said. Was this before Rumble? PLE? I don't remember where it came from, but Adam Pearce did say, break down the wall, right? And that's really do believe it's a Chris Jericho.
But they're always doing this shit. They're always trying to throw it off. And it's great that they're trying to throw it off. But he did say break down the wall. And
it's got a good chance to be Jericho. And I'm all for it. I want to see a final run for Jericho in WWE. Yeah. He's always been good. I think his run in AEW is just kind of AEW-ish. And so, it would be good to see him coming back. But where in my mind, when we pick a person, we think of that person, and we build him into the storyline. Where does he fit in going against Division? This is where like a Kevin Owens comes into consideration more so than Chris Jericho, right?
Yeah.
And if Kevin Owens has been home recovering from his injury, send to WWE could possibly make sense here. But have you guys ever watched Masked Singer?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know exactly who this is. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you right now.
Who is it?
Baron saw. Here, I'll do it again.
Oh, my God. That would be a bigger letdown, honestly. That would be a bigger letdown.
It's because you never believed.
No, I do believe. I do believe that would be a big letdown.
It's because you never believed in it.
I do believe. I do believe, sir.
I'm the one that definitely didn't believe.
I've always said that I believed in that man, but that would be a massive letdown for me.
I'm going to give a professional opinion. Sean, what do you think? Would you think it'd be okay if it was Joe Hendry? And please answer correctly.
While Sean is responding, I looked up Chris Jericho's AEW contract, and when it was up, it says as of mid-February 2026, Chris Jericho's AEW contract is believed to be frozen and still active, despite earlier reports that it would expire at the end of 2025. While originally signed through December of last year, his time off in 2025 likely extended his stay, keeping him on the AEW roster.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. Guys, I want Jericho to show up. I do. And especially because I know how many of you over here, and maybe you too, I don't know, that'll make happy. But guys,
look, I'd be happy to see Jericho. I was actually hoping to see him on the last PLE.
It's just, guys, it's not happening anytime soon. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. While I enjoy, you know what? I don't even want to talk with you anymore tonight. I'm going to be over here. Nope. Dizzy's
Sean
over
nailed
here.
it. Sean nailed it.
I'm just going to talk up here the rest of the night. You all hurt my feelings.
That would be, I'm telling you, Sean, that would be a massive letdown.
I would love, I would love for Jericho to come back. It makes so many people so happy. And I don't like being this level of bad guy, but guys, it is not happening. Not anytime soon. Is it going to happen in the future? I don't know. I like to hold out hope that it will. But we have a while to wait. Tony Khan is not letting him loose anytime soon. I'm sorry.
Which is like, what the hell is he doing? I mean, it's dumb. What the hell is he doing with Chris Jericho?
What does the froze contract mean, though?
I think in this case, it's not necessarily what Tony Khan is doing with Jericho. I think it is more that Jericho did take time off by his choice in 2025. So what they did was they froze the duration of that contract. So while he's still there, anytime that he is off, he owes them that much time before he can leave. Yeah. So like with injuries, they will add injury time to contracts all the time. If you're out for 2 months because of injury, then you owe them 2 months past your contract expiration. So that's what frozen means. The time that you are signed for has stopped counting until you come back, and then you finish out however much time is left on the contract.
And only AEW does this type of shit. Only AEW does these frozen contracts.
Well, other companies do the injury time portion of it, but it's written into the contract very well that if you're injured, we want you to make up that time because we're paying you all this money. But for something like Jericho decided to take some time off, most companies would have said, tell you what, let's go ahead and release you. And then you can come back when you're done with your time off because this is an extended time off. This isn't like a month or 2 or 3. This is like, he's been gone since early last year. That's a lot of time that he took off that he's going to have to make up for.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, let's talk about the next thing that we brought up. Who was that masked man? Well, it was Austin Theory. But there's a new masked man. We first saw him at Royal Rumble where he laid out Braun Breaker and tossed him in to be eliminated. Speculation was that Austin Theory was trying to take out someone in his way, in the way of him winning some gold. And then Austin got attacked on Raw. And then this week, Logan was attacked, which means that it looks like the Vision is the target of the masked man.
Mm-hmm.
And why would that be? Well, we'll talk about that. I've been discussing theories with Rowdy here at the house, and one name keeps coming up. And we've talked about it here. You guys have talked about it in the messenger. I've seen this name pop up online quite a bit, and that is Grayson Waller. Mm-hmm. Now, this next story comes to us from AOL. This is a new one for me. I don't normally use AOL for anything. Their dial-up was so terrible that I just assumed that everything they put out was terrible. But the Masked Man returned on WWE Raw, and this time his target was Logan Paul. Chaos keeps following the Vision. The February 16th episode of Raw opened with a big six-man tag match. LA Knight teaming with the Usos to take on Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul from the Vision. The heel faction picked up the win. However, their victory celebration was cut short by the return of the Masked Man. The Vision has been running Raw ever since its inception after WrestleMania last year. For months, they've been feuding with LA Knight and even took him out for a while. Now Knight is looking for payback. Last week, he beat Austin Theory in a triple threat Elimination Chamber qualifying match along with Penta. The mysterious masked figure showed up during the match and attacked Theory, helping Knight win. On the latest episode, Knight challenged the Vision to a six-man tag. For most of the match, the Vision stayed in control. Bronson Reed's power made a huge difference, stopping any momentum Knight and the Usos tried to build. At the end, Reed took out both Usos at ringside with his suicidal dive. Logan Paul then followed up by knocking out Jimmy Uso with his signature right hand. Then Reed hit a massive tsunami splash on Jimmy to seal the win for the Vision. After the win, Paul came near the announce table and started bragging and trash-talking Michael Cole and the fans by donning the headset. All of a sudden, the Masked Man appeared. And before Paul knew what was happening, he was stomped face first into the announce table. Before Reed or Theory could react, the Masked Man ran into the crowd and disappeared, leaving the Vision furious. With back-to-back attacks, first on Braun Breaker, then on Theory, and now on Logan Paul, it's clear someone has a serious problem with the Vision. Whether this mystery person is working with someone or acting alone is still unknown. Let's talk about motive, okay? Who has the motive to go after the Vision? And believe me, that's not as short of a list as you might think. How long have they been messing with Adam Pearce? They have been pushing his buttons since their inception. Back when Seth was still part of the group, they pushed his buttons. Seth is actually a possibility. He has motive because it's his group and they kicked him out. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's Adam Pearce because of the body shape. The guy in the mask is a little skinnier than Pearce. I mean, Pearce is built. I don't think it's Seth because I think Seth would be out there with his face shown. I think he wants the Vision to see him coming, because that's the type of mentality that Seth Rollins has, right? So Grayson Waller's name has come up quite a bit. And before he attacked Austin Theory and now Logan Paul, part of my reasoning for Grayson Waller was perhaps he's trying to either help his friend rise in the ranks to take that spot that's going after the title, or he's mad at these people for taking his friend when his friend came back, so he's attacking them, but then he attacked Theory. So where is Waller's motivation now? I'm not saying it's not Grayson Waller, but where's his motive? We have taken away the motive if he attacks Theory too, unless he's just trying to cover up what he's doing. But who else has motive, guys? Throw me some more names.
I wonder if it is. I wonder if it is Grayson Waller, but we're setting it up. I mean, obviously it is Grayson Waller because it looks like him, but it also kind of looks like Seth Rollins too. I mean, if you looked up at that, if you got that close-up shot of the Masked Man this last Monday night, it really looked like Seth Rollins. So what I'm thinking is, what if Seth Rollins is using Grayson Waller to take the fall and Seth surprises the rest of the Vision and says, fuckers, it was really me all along. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here.
I just don't understand why it could or what Grayson Wall like. Does that sound interesting to you for him to attack all these guys from the Vision? Like, no, like if that is who it is, it really doesn't make sense, nor does it really. I mean, it's just going to fall flat, just like Austin Theory, right? Or maybe they're creating a whole new faction stable or something here with the Masked Men, and then Austin Theory joins him. Yeah, sure, he was attacked, but we flip flop all the time in wrestling, right? You know, Brock Lesnar crossed my mind at one point in juncture. Not really. Whoever's in the mask, like I said earlier on, is not the person. Okay, like we just have to get that through our heads. This could be anybody that they present as a masked person. LA Knight would have made sense too a little bit, right?
Motive.
It's got motive, right? Exactly. Who was the first one they attacked? Was it
Braun Breaker at Royal Rumble?
Yeah, right. I mean, to attack a guy that was expected to win the Rumble like that, you know it's going to have a face-off with Braun in that Masked Man, right? So it's got to be a bigger time player and bigger opponent, like a Seth or someone along those lines. Grayson Waller would just not make sense elevating to that level and face who's your future of the company, Braun Breaker. Because whoever run his Royal Rumble shot, I mean, we all, like, I think it even came out in articles that Braun was expected to win the Rumble this year, but it was a last minute change. So to me, they're bringing someone in as a masked person that's going to be a little bit bigger. I don't know exactly. I'm just trying to think of all the problems Paul Heyman, people he's had issues with in the past. You know.
I want you to watch this. And this is a really good close-up shot of the Masked Man. I mean, it kind of looks like, obviously it looks like Grayson Waller to me. Let me see if I can.
But that laugh, look at the laugh. Go back to the laugh.
The laugh is very, very Seth Rollins-ish. They've got the eyes blacked out.
Did you see that bulge at the bottom of the mask, right?
Yeah.
To me, there's a beard.
Yeah.
But the stance is not Seth Rollins, right? Like,
no.
Gotta watch it again here.
Yeah, let's. Whoever shot this video did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Amazing job.
Grayson Waller has done that lean back laugh too.
Yeah, I just.
He's about the right size and body for Grayson Waller.
100%. I mean, like, that is definitely who everybody's expecting, and it's kind of what we thought when we first seen him.
So then, yeah. I mean, Sean has a good point here. It's a secret faction that Seth is putting together, and it will involve Grayson Waller at some point.
Right, and I mean, Austin Theory too, right? He was another masked person.
Yeah.
I just don't, I guess, care to see that as Grayson Waller if that's who is taking the mask off.
I don't
think that just pans out very well storyline wise. I think
see, my thing is, are they using Grayson Waller as a lookalike for Seth if he's not ready to come back to the ring just yet, but they want to introduce him to the storyline somehow, so they're using Grayson Waller? That's the only thing that I can think of.
And I mean, he just had a match on WWE's main event.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't know what that makes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think it's more me not just wanting it to be him. I want it to be. We love the shock factor of things in this, but I feel like once his identity is revealed, just the same way with Austin Theory, for me, it's just like, oh, okay, and we move on.
Yeah.
But whoever this person is going to have to face out the entire group of the Vision. He's attacked them all.
Mm-hmm.
No, he hasn't.
All but who?
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed, yeah.
Because he hit Braun Breaker first at Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week he hit Austin Theory during the triple threat match with LA Knight and Penta. And then this week at the end of the 6-man tag against LA Knight and the Usos, he took out Logan Paul and then stared Bronson Reed down, who is standing in the middle of the ring still. So right now, Bronson Reed is the only one that hasn't been attacked.
Yeah. I think that's...
So what does that mean?
It depends on what happens next week.
Or,
that all depends on what happens next week, and I think he will get Bronson Reed next.
He's either going to get Bronson Reed, or he's going to plant the seed of doubt and make it seem like he's working with Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed, yeah. Yeah, I mean, an interesting story could be played out of this for sure. Now, do we think the masked person and the box, is there any connection between the two? Because I'm starting to think it's not.
I don't think there is. I'm not saying that I'm in the head of the creative team, so maybe it is, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't
think you can separate that.
I think that's something completely different. I think that's something for the Elimination Chamber. Maybe another entrance, a surprise entrance for the Elimination Chamber, but I don't think that's related to the Vision storyline.
It's Ricky Saints.
Ricky.
Yeah, it could be so many people. I mean, I'm just watching Grayson Waller video of him coming out to the ring, WWE main event on February 12th. I don't know.
All right, I want you to look at this guy real quick, and I want you to think of Ricky Saints real quick. I know Ricky doesn't have that beard, but size-wise, could that not be Ricky Saints?
Yes and no. I think if size-wise, yes. I'm looking at the mouth though. That doesn't look like Ricky Saints' mouth to me.
Well, and here's the other thing I want to point out. I don't think that could be Ethan Page.
No.
The size and body shape doesn't match, but the box could be.
The box could definitely be. I mean, the box could really be anything. We don't know what is going to happen. I mean, we're hoping
the box is going to be fucking Brock Lesnar, and I'm gonna vomit all over my fucking screen. And
we've seen Sean typing in the chat. But has anybody seen Sean lately?
It'll be in the box. It'll be Triple H, and he'll come out and spit some water
with his golden shovel.
No,
shovel
or whatever. Yeah.
Please don't let that be what this is.
It's the unreleased box, and it's the cover of WWE 2K26, and it's got Triple H.
I mean, it does come out 2 weeks after the Elimination Chamber, so
good time to promote it, right?
Yeah, so this is probably an ad for. Oh God, yeah, the Golden Shovel edition, which isn't a real edition; it's a fan mock-up, but that's probably all this is. WWE, you're letting me down again.
Oh man.
All right,
gentlemen, this was fun. I have got to get out of here though, and I'll be back. I promise you, I will be back. But it was a good little warm up for my part-time status, honestly.
All right, part-timer.
Yeah, you damn part-timer.
Look, I'm glad you could be here, but this whole part-timer thing, we're gonna have to discuss that later.
Okay, we'll have to discuss that. I may have to bring in my proxy if you want to discuss it with me. So
yeah.
But thank you again for letting me come on here, and I will be back. I will be back. I will be back. So
listen, you people over here, give him a round of applause and thank him for being here tonight.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button that tells YouTube that you like what we're doing and suggests our videos to more people. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, and we'll talk again soon.
Good night, Dizzy.
Good night, my brother.
See
Be
ya.
safe out there. We'll see you, part-timer.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, tell you what. I don't think we're quite done talking about the masked man just yet. Grayson Waller is not the only suspect being talked about, as we just discussed. And this story comes to us from Fightful. Big E believes the masked man is Seth Rollins. Unless this is Seth Rollins, I'm not sure who this could be. Big E, since the WWE Survivor Series last year, WWE has had a masked man storyline involved with Division, with Austin Theory initially being revealed as the man in the mask until another one began striking at the heart of the faction, attacking Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, Theory, because that's it. That's all he's attacked. So Fightful, that and more is not necessarily there, and you almost tripped me up and made me read something that was useless in a sentence. While speaking on the latest episode of the Raw Recap, Big E briefly discussed the masked man, noting that unless it is Seth Rollins, he is unsure of who else could possibly be under the mask. I keep thinking about the locker room or potential free agents, and unless this is a Seth Rollins who has returned earlier than any of us could have imagined, I'm not sure who this could be. On this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, the masked man would attack Logan Paul, who many had speculated was responsible for the attack on Braun Breaker back at the WWE Royal Rumble. Now, I'm going to be honest, prior to Monday night, I thought Logan Paul was a possibility. I really did. This guy's the Maverick. He's always done things on his own. He's been the lone wolf. He doesn't team up with people except for briefly and to his benefit. And then he got attacked this week. Well, clearly it's not Logan Paul. I mean, he was out there last week when Theory got attacked, so I'd already eliminated him as a suspect. We talked about why I don't think it's Seth Rollins, and I mean, there's quite a few possibilities. And I'm going to tell you guys something that I looked up while Dizzy and Baron and I were talking about that last story, and while we were speculating. Braun Breaker went out with a hernia. He left at Royal Rumble, right after Royal Rumble, has been gone since. If he got the surgery right away, which my understanding is he did, recovery time from a hernia operation is 3 to 6 weeks, with most patients returning to light daily activities within a few days to 2 weeks. Full recovery, including the resumption of heavy lifting and strenuous exercise, usually requires 4 to 8 weeks, depending on whether the surgery was laparoscopic or open. The laparoscopic is faster. So depending on what type of surgery he had and when, potentially we'll have him back in time for Mania. Now, that also brings up the question, what about Seth Rollins' injury? Well, he's expected to be out of action for approximately 4 to 6 weeks following a torn rotator cuff injury sustained in October 2025. As of late January 2026, he is 3 months into his recovery, making a return before or around WrestleMania 42 in early 2026 plausible. Now, they said 4 to 6 months. So 4 months would be right about now. 6 months would put us right around or just after Mania. I'm thinking Rollins is going to be back in time for Mania at this point.
Yeah, he always comes back from injury faster than everyone else, right?
Right.
And I mean, like, this would be a good time for him to do this. I mean, it would really make sense, right? Unless we're going to get a few more masked men throughout the time to Mania, right? It's really going to be interesting. Just don't know. I hate having to think who it is, because the more we talk about it, and we get like these big names in our head, and we're let down on who it is, right? I feel like it happens every time.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now.
But I will say real quick, the first person I think that was before Austin Theory, obviously not Austin Theory, but when the first attack happened to now, I think it was totally two different people.
It's possible. And
I think the first guy was much thicker. I'm just going to throw it out there.
It is possible that Sean's right. It could be a faction that Seth Rollins is putting together. He and Braun are both going to be back right around Mania time. So we could feasibly have a Seth Rollins faction versus the Vision at WrestleMania. especially since we now know that, as far as I know, Logan does not have a chamber qualifier. Bronson's is next week. I don't think he's going to win. Austin didn't win his. Oh, yeah. I don't think. Here's what I think happens on Raw. The only two possibilities. Either the masked man comes out and costs Bronson Reed the match, which seems like the obvious answer, right? I mean, that's what he's done so far. He cost Austin Theory the match last week. So it seems like if he's trying to hurt the Vision, that'd be the right thing to do. Or does he make sure Bronson Reed wins the match and plant that seed of doubt?
That's too smart a booking. I don't see that WWE doing something that fancy. Did Logan Paul ever get a match for the qualifiers for Elimination Chamber? Was he? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. No. Let me. I wanted to talk a little bit about the card anyway, so let me go ahead and pull it up right now, even though I didn't already have it up and should have. Wait, hold on. Oh, I thought that said Germany up there. I was like, whoa, how'd you pull up the wrong one? All right, so we have 2 left to qualify for the men's and the women's. And the 5th match is Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, and Trick Williams. And the 6th and final match is Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and the original El Grande Americano for the men's side. So, no, it does not look like Logan Paul has a match. Whoever wins those 2 matches joins Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, and Bouncy. Yeah, boys, Bouncy. On the women's side, we have Tiffany versus Rhea versus Alexa versus Asuka, with 2 still to be determined. And the final 2 matches are Charlotte versus Kiana versus Nia, and Io versus Kyrie versus Raquel Rodriguez. I'm guessing Raquel, which would go along with your theory that they turn the Liv Morgan Stephanie McCare match into a triple threat. And I'm guessing Charlotte Flair, which will put both Charlotte and Alexa in the women's elimination chamber together. Depends on what the masked man does on the men's side.
I found my
Alexa, stop.
She almost bought you some tickets for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I mentioned Alexa Bliss. No, shut down. And mine responded.
Gotta love Alexa.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you the story behind mine?
Mm-mm.
So several years ago, I told my family that for Christmas, I wanted an Alexa. And I would let them decide. It could be the Echo or it could be Alexa Bliss, their choice, right? So that year for Christmas, I unwrapped a box and it was my Echo. And then I unwrapped another box and my then brother-in-law had a couple of pictures in that box. And one of them was a picture of Bliss. And the other one was a picture of him holding said picture of Bliss. And that's what I got for Christmas that year. That was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think we have speculated to death on who this could be. So,
when do we find out? You think we find out in Elimination Chamber, or are we pulling this all the way to Mania? I want to know now.
My personal opinion is that if they're going to do it right, and they almost never do this stuff right, my personal opinion is you draw this one out to Mania.
Yeah.
Because Seth and Braun Breaker should both be back around Mania. So you draw this out until then and then reveal who it is at the time that they return. In fact, if you really want to mess with everybody's heads, you have the Vision out in the ring talking about how we don't know who this is. They keep attacking, blah, blah, blah. At this point, we're starting to doubt our own people. We're thinking it could either be Braun or Seth, even though Braun got attacked. And then you have both men come out. Neither one of them is the masked man. And then somebody else comes out and reveals themselves. So I do think it could be a Seth Rollins faction, but I still think that if this was Seth himself, he'd be showing his face. He wants them to see him coming, and so does LA Knight. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, let's move on to our next story. One of my favorite female wrestlers right now is being discussed for a possible transition to the main roster, but she might not arrive in the same way we know her. From Fightful, NXT's Sol Ruca set for a slight character change and a new theme song. New changes coming for Ruca on the newest episode of WrestleVotes on Fightful Select. There was a note about the presentation of NXT talent Sol Ruca. It was stated that Ruca will undergo a slight character change and will be getting a new theme song, which, before I go on, is sometimes pretty common for going to the main roster. On the 224 NXT on the CW, Ruca will be challenging JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. And I got to be honest with you, as great as it would be to see her win it, I don't think she's winning. I think she's doing that match, and then she's going to go to the main roster. I think that's where we're at with Sol Ruca right now. I wasn't really going to, Sean, but let me pull it up.
No. I don't care what they do with Sol Ruca. She's gonna fucking. She's fucking great. Love her. She's really good in the ring.
Yeah, I look forward to whatever they have planned next for her. I can't wait to see her on the main roster. I'm hoping it's Raw because since we cut the cable, I don't really see a lot of SmackDown. I could. We have YouTube TV, the expensive plan. I could just watch it there, but I just don't. Oh, let me turn my TV on Friday nights right now. Let's talk about this real quick, and we're going to keep this brief. WrestleMania 42 scheduled April 18th and 19th this year, and it's at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas with tickets available through Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and other resellers. 2-day combo tickets are a primary option for the event. The tickets went on sale in September, with single-day tickets becoming available later. As of early this year, tickets for individual nights have been found starting around $240 to $287, while some early listings for Saturday night were listed at $285 for lower tier seating. To secure the best seats and avoid high price spikes following the Rumble, it is recommended to buy early, as prices have trended higher due to high demand and dynamic pricing strategies. Fans can register for future last-minute ticket alerts on the official WWE website. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to know where we're at right now. I know I can't afford tickets even at that $200 price.
Well, I think the thing is, I don't think anybody is, because I think the story, maybe Sean, I don't know if he was, that's what he's heading towards, but they came out with ticket sales so far for Mania, and it's been horrendous, right? And they just recently, this past weekend, ran tickets 25% off because of low ticket sales. So I don't think you're the only one that cannot afford it. And I think people are starting to recognize this for all WWE events, as we talk about all the fucking time. They're just not going to sell, and tickets for Mania really are not going to sell in Vegas, which it's pretty expensive to fly to Vegas no matter what state you live in, because it's Vegas. So yeah, they definitely read that article that ticket sales for Mania. I don't know if they're talking about both nights when this happened or what, but the ticket sales are way down. That's why they just ran 25% off for Mania tickets, which I should have looked in and just see what the prices were at that time, because I don't think they're 25% off anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Something I just saw said that they were not planning to lower prices at this time, but I found something on Yahoo. Let's read this real quick. WrestleMania 42 struggling ticket sales speak volumes, and it isn't just those inflated prices. It's not exactly the best way to kick off WrestleMania season, an emergency meeting to discuss low ticket sales. But that's reportedly what happened in Stamford this past week as WWE, and this article went up last Sunday night. So as WWE gathers some of its senior creatives around the table to discuss the apparently slow pace of tickets for this WrestleMania 42, this year's WrestleMania 42 weekend in Vegas. How bad are ticket sales? According to WrestleTix, WWE has sold just over 37,000 tickets, which is still better than that other company, for each of the two upcoming nights of WrestleMania in April. That's around 10,000 fewer than this time last year when WWE ran exactly the same venue and went on to draw a crowd of 60,000 on both nights. That would seem to confirm it then. Tickets aren't exactly selling like hotcakes, and plenty of folks have been quick to point the finger at TKO's notoriously steep ticket prices, which have literally doubled in the past couple of years. Right now, a nosebleed seat on Saturday night at WrestleMania 42 will set you back $285, including fees, rising to 10 times that much and more for floor seats. TKO's aggressive pricing strategy has been pretty persistent. Grumble has been a pretty persistent grumble for the past 2 years, but it wasn't like the prices were any different last year. We even had Randy Orton caught on camera saying he thought WrestleMania 41 tickets were embarrassingly expensive, and WWE still went on to sell out the stadium both nights. What's changed then? One thing that's probably worth noting is that this is the first WrestleMania for a few years where there isn't an obvious headline match in the works. In both 2023 and 2024, there was a heavy expectation WWE would do Roman versus Cody and switch the belt off Reigns too, while last year it was clear from a mile off that the closing match would feature John Cena. This time around, not so much. When Reigns won the Rumble last month, giving him the chance to face a champion of his choosing in Vegas, it wasn't obvious which of the two world title holders he would pick. Even now, his planned match between Reigns and Punk carries an asterisk next to it, given that Punk is set to defend his world title at the Elimination Chamber on February 28th first. Unlike the past few years, there's also no expectation that The Rock will show up. Good. The last time we saw the final boss on WWE program was almost a year ago when he was roped in to help boost ticket sales at 2025's Elimination Chamber. If there was any chance of that happening again, you could bet WWE would be hinting at it by now. There's no Cena either, at least not in any in-ring capacity. We probably shouldn't rule out some kind of cameo appearance, but after a year-long retirement tour, the fan base has surely had its fill of the 17-time champion for the time being. Leave it to next year when Cena will be a favorite for the Hall of Fame. Some have suggested WWE made a mistake running back-to-back Manias in one of the most expensive cities in the world. Duh. But that overlooks why WWE chose Vegas in the first place. Not only is the company receiving a hefty $5 million site fee, but the event will also qualify for a generous tax rebate from the Nevada government. That came out to more than $4 million alone last year. That's the other part of the TKO strategy, to extract as much money from host cities as possible, thus providing a potential hedge against slower ticket sales. When you look at the major stadium shows like Mania and SummerSlam, it's not uncommon to see around half the total revenue coming from the host city, usually before a single seat has sold. That leads to the biggest gamble of the TKO era, sending WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia for 2027. We don't know exactly how much the Saudi government is paying to host next year's event, but there are some suggestions it could be up to $250 million. When you see numbers like that, you might be tempted to think ticket sales matter less, but they're still one of the main indicators as to how popular the product is right now, and that's not so great news for TKO. That tickets have been shifting slower than last year is one thing, but the television ratings aren't on fire either. Most credible estimates show the U.S. viewership for Raw, which moved to Netflix in 2025, running at similar levels to what it used to get on USA Network. Not brilliant when you're on the most popular streaming platform in the country. Think about it. When is the last time you heard someone describe WWE's product as hot? It might not be in a slump right now, but it certainly doesn't have the kind of momentum it did just a year ago. And we're about to enter peak WrestleMania season, which is meant to be the hottest period of the year. Who knows? Maybe those 10,000 extra tickets will shift once we see more matches confirmed. It isn't like WWE doesn't have other tricks up its sleeve to ensure those seats aren't left empty. In previous years, they've issued thousands of comp tickets to everyone from TikTok influencers to local government types. They're not going to find any shortage of takers in Las Vegas. At the moment, though, that Mania feeling seems to have lost a little bit of its spark, and it isn't just those inflated ticket prices that are to blame. So yeah,
who wrote this article?
that was from Yahoo.
Who's the writer?
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. It was written by Robert Jackman.
Well, fuck you, Robert Jackman. Ticket sales is 1,000% based off the pricing, location, and everything else. To say that there's not a clear main event match that's happening in Mania right now is you're not watching the product. Okay, CM Punk and Roman Reigns is going to headline WrestleMania. There's undoubtedly nobody else in the company that could headline Mania like a Roman Reigns or even a Cody Rhodes, right? And I think it's pretty obvious that, they're giving CM Punk that main event headline night 2 match. I mean, like, that's what he wanted for years, right? Not a night 1 guy. He's wanting night 2. He wants to end it, right? So I find it foolish that we're blaming it on some of the booking. Hasn't been great. No. Ratings are doing just fine. They're demolishing every other wrestling promotion by hundreds and hundreds of thousands. And, for something that is on so many apps now, it's pretty solid ratings. Like, I get kind of tired of those articles with, like, not fully, like, blaming a lot of other things that I don't think have anything to do with ticket sales. Like, it's the fucking pricing, man. Have you seen how big the stadium is? Who in the right mind would want to spend $242 for nosebleed just to be at Mania? You wouldn't be able to see anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't see a damn thing. So no, I don't agree with that. I think a lot of this has to do with pricing. And I think that's the big reason. I don't think we technically even had a headliner for last year, right? For Mania?
I don't know. I mean, we knew John Cena was going to be in the main event one way or another. So we knew that was happening by this point.
And would you agree that Roman Reigns is an obvious choice that's going to headline the Mania?
Yeah, I think that's important information right there. I don't think it really matters who he's facing. I think we're guaranteed a Roman Reigns main event. And so, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Roman's just as capable of, and I mean, he's headlined how many Manias now? So, yeah.
Hello?
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Max. It's going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to have any issues selling those tickets or giving those out to whoever they want to. So, yeah, they still have a lot of time before Mania happens, for sure.
Oh yeah, they're going to sell enough more tickets that then the amount they give away to the influencers will be negligible at that point. So I don't really think that there's any worry that the stadium is going to be sold out for Mania. I have no idea what happened just now either. Just I hit enter on something and boom, all of a sudden it said waiting for host to reconnect. So
I don't know. We are Botch City. So I don't think the stream ended or anything, but it's a live show. Anything can happen, folks. Anything. Max could disappear. I might disappear again for another beer and whatever, a toke. That's just what we do.
I mean, yeah. All right, let's talk about WrestleMania because I feel like we're there at this point. WWE has reached out to someone to see what their availability will be for WrestleMania 42. This story comes to us from Fightful. WWE and Bad Bunny have been in contact regarding his availability for WrestleMania 42. There is an update on the relationship between Bad Bunny and WWE that came from WrestleVotes on Fightful Select. It was stated on the latest edition of WrestleVotes on Fightful Select that WWE and Bad Bunny have been in contact regarding his availability for Las Vegas. Bad Bunny made his in-ring debut for WWE at WrestleMania 37, where he teamed with Damian Priest to face The Miz and John Morrison. He was also in action against Priest at the Backlash PLE in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I don't know who they'd have him go against this time because I honestly don't see it being Damian Priest again that he's doing something with. But I think it could be interesting to have him make another appearance for the WWE. And he clearly put the work in to learn how to wrestle before he had that match at Backlash. So I'm not opposed to this.
No, I think he's established in the WWE as being one of the better celebrities we've ever had. I don't think that's even in question, right?
Right.
Now, I think there's some stuff that's being played out on social media, or was. I haven't followed much up on it. But a strong possibility of a Logan Paul and Bad Money type of match, with things being said on social media about Bad Bunny from Logan Paul. It could be stirring something up because we do know Bad Bunny would love to return. So that's always a possibility. Hell, he could be in the box. Why didn't we say that?
I hadn't even thought about it, but you're right. He could be in the box.
I wouldn't be against that. I mean, I just feel like that's going to be more of an international promotion when he does come back than it would be here, right? So yeah, just I'll say that. But I'm all for it. I think Bad Bunny was great in the ring. I think he had one of the biggest pops at Backlash that I've probably ever heard in wrestling when they were in Puerto Rico. I mean, he's the number one artist in the world, so he can do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah, I agree. I wouldn't. And I'll be honest, I would not be let down if it's him that's in the box.
I think that would be a better outcome than I think who we're going to get. So yes, I would agree that if it was Bad Bunny, I'd be ecstatic because I can already tell you we're not going to like what's in that box.
Yeah. All right, guys, let me give you an injury update real quick. This one also comes from Fightful. Bianca Belair gives an update following finger surgery. Bianca Belair has been sidelined since WrestleMania 41 when she suffered a finger injury. She underwent surgery on her finger earlier in the week and gave an update on Thursday. So this article was actually posted today. So that means that her update's from today and she had surgery this week. She says 10 months post-injury, 8 months of rehab, 5 doctors later, and we are finally here. Now I can finally start to put this behind me. Thank you so much, Dr. Desai, for hearing me and fixing me. Fingers and joints are complicated, frustrating, confusing, essential. If you don't get it, consider yourself lucky, and I hope you never have to find out. Maybe one day I'll go into detail, but it's a lot. Thank you to those who have sent so much love my way and continue to. It is unknown when Bianca Belair will return to the ring. Now, a finger injury could have her out for a little while because, you need your hand to wrestle. So, from surgery on a finger. So we are looking at a 2 to 6 weeks for initial healing. Stitches removed, light activity, and then up to 3 to 6 months for full strength and mobility, depending on what procedure was done. Minor procedures like trigger finger release often recover 2 to 3 weeks, while complex tendon or fracture repairs require 8 to 12 weeks. So as of right now, we could be looking anywhere from 2 weeks to another 3 months before we see Bianca again. So as of right now, guys, I would not expect her to be back in time for Mania.
No, she has been out for quite some time. I don't know enough about finger injuries to know how severe, but I can imagine it doesn't feel great. Yeah, so wish her a speedy recovery. Definitely come back soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we're probably looking at whatever the next PLE is after Mania before she comes back, unfortunately. I know there was a lot of speculation she might have been in the Rumble, but unfortunately, now we know why that didn't happen. All right. It's always nice when you receive an award, but what happens when it's just announced and you don't get a physical award? Well, if you're Adam Pearce, you take social media and ask where your physical award is, or where both of them are, because he won 2 awards and wanted to know where both of them were at. And it might actually work out for you. This story also comes to us from Fightful. Adam Pearce receives physical Bexy Award from Becky Lynch. Adam Pearce isn't thrilled with Becky Lynch's antics. On February 16th, the man took to social media to celebrate the winners of the first ever Bexy Awards. Adam Pearce was the recipient of 2 awards, one for Feud of the Year for his constant bickering with Lynch, and it was actually, the feud was called Becky Lynch versus the Corruption, is how she titled it, and one Lifetime Achievement Award for Worst GM. Just a few days after his win, Pearce received a tiny basketball trophy in the mail from Lynch. A cutout of Pearce's face and a paper Bexy label is taped to the trophy. You can check out a full list of the Bexy. You know what? Tell you what. Let's check it out. Below is the list of winners for the first ever Bexy Awards. The best ring year is Becky Lynch's Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Best media personality is Megan Morant. Best vlog is Becky Lynch. Tag team of the year tie between Becky Lynch and partner and The New Day and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Now, to be clear, what that was that she said is it's her and whoever she picks as a partner that is the best tag team of the year. Social media superstar of the year, Becky Lynch. Feud of the year, Becky Lynch versus the Massive Corruption. Best announcer, Sean Mooney. Best TV show featuring a WWE superstar, Star Trek Starfleet Academy featuring Becky Lynch. And I don't see... there was more of them on here that's not shown here. But one of them was, as I read in the other article, Worst GM. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award for Adam Pearce. I'm surprised she didn't have a referee award in there, that it was like worst referee or most incompetent referee or something, and awarded that to Jessica Carr. But yeah, it's on her Facebook page if you want to check it out. She posted all the award winners there. That was just a short list because Adam Pearce obviously wasn't on what I just read twice. One of these days, Baron, maybe I'll get you a special little baseball trophy with your face on it. Most high podcaster I've ever worked with or something,
Super, super, super high. We're here, folks. We're here.
All right. So there aren't a lot of moves out there that there aren't a lot of moves. I mean, there's a lot of moves, but what happens is we use moves that other people do, right? It's not like there's this whole smorgasbord and we can always do something completely different from everybody else. Sometimes you use someone else's moves because of that. And sometimes you get their permission. Or sometimes you get permission from their father-in-law. Our next story comes from Fightful. Seth Rollins asked Vince McMahon, not Triple H, to use the pedigree. I knew Vince would say yes to spite Triple H. Shortly after he won the WWE Championship, Vince McMahon banned Seth Rollins from using the curb stomp because he saw it used by kids in a real-life situation and thought it was too dangerous. That left Rollins without a finisher until he adopted the pedigree. Speaking to Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. Oh, are you serious, Shannon Sharp? If that's the choice you want for a name, you go with that. Rollins was asked about using the pedigree. It took me a couple of months before I decided to just steal Triple H's pedigree. He was done at the time and not wrestling anymore. All right, I'll take it. I was his protege. I tried to use a couple of different things, and some of them really took, and none of them really took. I was like, if I ask Triple H if I can use the pedigree, I feel like he's going to say no. He was the only person who's ever used it. Here's what I'll do. I'll ask Vince about it. And I know Vince will say yes, just to spite Triple H, and Triple H can't say anything about it. It was a good idea. It was a good way to carry on the legacy of the move. Vince okayed it. Whether he did it because he liked it or just to take a shot at his son-in-law, I don't know, but it worked, said Rollins. Rollins is once again using the stomp as his finisher, but still uses the pedigree during matches. I mean, Todd Pettengill was great. I mean, yes, that is brilliant. If you think Sherpas is going to say no, by all means, go to Vince. Vince is probably going to go against him on that. Baron?
Oh, I agree. I mean, that's a smart move. I would, and the only reason why Vince said yes was just in spite of it being his son-in-law. Had nothing to do with anything else. That spiteful bastard only said yes just to piss Triple H off. But I think Triple H, I don't know. I think he would have probably said yes to Seth Rollins, right? He was his protege. Clearly pushed that guy to the moon himself, right? From NXT to the main roster. I think he's a large part of the reason he had success on that main roster was Triple H, right? But yeah, you know damn well Vince said yes just in spite to piss off Triple H. So that's the funny part of that story.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's genius. If you don't think
it is perfect, yeah.
Go to his father-in-law, and I bet his father-in-law goes, I hate that bastard son-in-law of mine. Do it.
Yeah, it's yours. No, it's great. I think Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, I've watched a few of their interviews. They did Hot Ones together. I watched that, like a WWE version of Hot Ones, right? And they did another one. I don't remember who it was for. Just kind of like a Valentine's Day theme one where they asked a lot of questions about each other. And they're both very funny individuals, right? Like outside wrestling. Becky's very, very funny, and so is Seth Rollins. So
yeah. Yeah. I'm with Paul Heyman in what he said on Unreal. He goes, despite what you may have heard, I'm not a big fan of this show. I come from an era where I believe secrets are meant to be kept. And I agree with what he said there 100%. However, what I will say is there is a clip of Seth sitting backstage recording a story for the cameras for the show. And he was talking about how Rue came to him and said, Daddy, I told my teacher that you have a fake injury. And he's like, no, you can't do that. And I got a lot of respect for Seth. I really do. I feel like he does try to keep the secrets as much as possible, but and part of that's related to something else that was on the show. They were letting LA Knight in on the fact that the Seth Rollins injury that he took in the LA Knight match was going to be a fake injury. And Seth is like, I don't know why you're doing that. We need to keep this as tight as possible, and we need to tell as few people as possible. And I guess Trips told him, look, if the roles were reversed, you would totally want to know. You would want to know that you hadn't actually legitimately injured your opponent. So we're letting LA Knight in on it for that reason right there. So there are things that I'm okay with, and there are things that I'm not okay with. And I completely agree with what Trips said there. I fully believe that if you're going to do an injury angle in a match that's going to take the opponent out, even if you're working literally everybody else, you need to let the opponent in on it.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I to go back on your comment on Paul Heyman, because I watched the series too. It's like he says that he don't like that, blah blah blah, and then went ahead and told inside information anyway. So
I mean, Heyman also likes the money, so
oh well, yeah, absolutely. But it's just like literally after that sentence, he went on to say the exact thing he didn't want to say, which was a work in the shoot. I think that's what we were talking about at that time. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I just found that funny from him. But that is a good show, though. If anybody has not watched it, go watch it, because I think it's interesting, and we're deep into wrestling, right? You know, yeah. we know what it is for what it is at this point in juncture. That curtain was blown way open back in the 90s. So I find it interesting, and I'm a diehard wrestling fan for many, 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 many years of my life, and I enjoy those backstage things that we don't get to see as wrestling fans. Now, I don't want to see everything, but I do like to see some stuff. I do like to see where they make their decisions and the gorilla and all that stuff. I think it's interesting. Vince McMahon, if he was still around, he would not allow this project to come out.
Oh, I agree. This would totally be the antithesis of everything that he did. And I hate to agree with him on anything, but this is the one thing that I agree with him on. That's just how I've always been too. It's one thing for me to reveal little things here and there, but to do an entire show on Netflix talking about all the backstage stuff, that's more than what needs to be revealed, in my opinion. It really is. So, all right, guys, up next, we're going to go from the desk of Max Magus, and I promise I'm going to make this quick, but you're going to want to stick around to the end of my little rant because my rant is not what it sounds like my rant is about, okay? Stick around. This next story comes to us from Fightful, again. Kenny Omega not planned to wrestle at AEW Revolution. Details on the future of Kenny Omega. Fightful Select reports as of today, Kenny Omega is not booked to wrestle at AEW Revolution. He informed AEW of a scheduling conflict months ago, which is why he had his match against Swerve Strickland last night. Not tonight, last night. Full details are available to subscribers. I'm not subscribing. Omega lost to Strickland on Wednesday's AEW Dynamite. After the match, Swerve put Omega through a table with a vertebreaker to directly... Oh, yeah, that's unimportant down there. Listen, I know there's mixed feelings about this man and the company he works for that matter, but tonight I want to talk about why this is bad news for AEW. Whether you like him or you don't, it can't be denied that Omega is a draw. He does put asses in seats, and AEW desperately needs asses in seats. Now, yes, this was something he told them about months ago. He has a prior commitment the night of Revolution, and who can blame him for keeping his prior commitment? AEW is losing out on sales that he brings. Honestly, with the booking they have been putting forth, they really need the elevation that he brings. I hope in the future they can keep that in mind. Hey, while we're talking about people who put asses in seats, where has everyone's favorite dentist been? You might want to bring Britt Baker DMD back or release her. Bad business model to pay people to stay home. How many people are you paying to stay home right now? I mean, have you thought about that? Have you looked over your roster? Has your dad looked at the finances lately? Because, damn, you have a lot of people that are ready to go that you should be working into your stories. Britt Baker is one of them. I don't know about Cole. I've heard mixed things about whether he's ready to wrestle or not, but I've also heard that he is only ever going to wrestle again when you decide he can wrestle. But here's the problem, okay? These people draw, and that's what you're missing right now. You don't have big enough draws to be without them. So what you need to do is go down to your local clothing store, buy yourself a pair of big boy draws, and bring the people back that bring the crowd in, because you're not cutting it now. You have a bunch of diehards that I call AEW stands, that everybody calls AEW stands, that only watch your show and attack everything else. And you have a few other people watching, but otherwise your numbers are consistently dropping. Bring the people back. They're going to put the asses in seats, especially now when you don't have Omega for Revolution, when you've got Jericho out, when you've got all these people out. You need to bring back the ones that are ready, willing, and able to get in that ring for you at this time. The ones that are healthy, the ones that you are paying to just sit at home until you decide it's time to bring them back. You want your ratings to go back up? You want your ticket sales to go back up? Stop screwing around with the people that brought people in. I told you, stick around to the end. You weren't going to believe where this one was going.
But do any of those people bring anybody in?
Yes.
Their ratings have been consistently bad for multiple years now. right? But I do agree. I 100% agree. Like there is a lot of people on their said roster that we have not seen. Now we went through the roster just not too many shows ago of people that are just not currently wrestling. Britt Baker being one of them. I don't know what the hell's going on with that fucking shit, right? Like I don't understand.
Actually, I don't see Britt on the AEW roster right now. Unless, nope, she's not down here under Dr. Britt Baker either. She appears to be gone from the AEW roster, which means I don't think he has power to keep her from showing up anywhere else.
I mean, is her contract over?
Let's
Has to be at
find out.
this point. It's been what? It's been over a year and a half, 2 years since she's been on, right? Shit, I don't know.
It's definitely been quite a while. I mean, according to this, the contract was extended through at least fall of this year. But like I said, she's not on their roster page.
I see her on here on women's roster.
Was I in the wrong category? I thought I was.
It's in the women's roster. It's on the very first
down
row.
at the bottom. Yeah, now I found it. I thought I saw a mix and she wasn't there. But yeah, I mean, my point stands though. Why are you paying her to sit on her ass at home?
I agree. It doesn't make any sense. They've got a large roster, man. They just don't know what to do with it, and it sucks.
Here's one for you. Did you know Madison Rayne is on the AEW roster?
I knew she was in AEW, yeah.
You know who she is, right?
I'm hoping so, yeah.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm not confusing her with someone else. But if I remember correctly,
she's just Madison Ray, Ashley Rain.
According to this, she's now retired, but maybe not. Ohio Shimmer Resolutions other. Oh, nope. I am absolutely correct about who this is. Madison Rayne was a member of the TNA faction, the Beautiful People.
Yeah.
And now she's on the AEW roster not doing anything.
I just don't remember her even being on AEW.
I don't either.
Oh, she was brought in as a coach.
Well, she
won a match against Jade Cargill back in. Give me the date in 2022, I assume. She's been wrestling on ROH. Okay, got it. Yeah, I of course love Madison Rayne from back in the day, but they definitely, to your point, they have a lot of people on their roster, women, men, that could really help elevate. You losing Kenny Omega, like I said, that's a huge name not to be on a major show.
I don't think it bodes well for Tony Khan that one of his biggest names isn't going to be at Revolution, and he's not even injured. If he was injured, okay. And I'm not upset with Kenny Omega's side. I'm really not. Kenny Omega has a previous commitment. He's had this in place for months. Yeah, professional. Keep your commitment. I understand that. From the Tony Khan side of this, though, you have other people that are waiting in the wings. Why not pull the trigger?
Yeah.
The best time was 6 months ago. But now will probably work too. Okay. Finally, let's talk about one of the best heels in the business today. This story comes to us from Ringside News. MJF reveals how many years left in his pro wrestling career. MJF isn't planning on slowing down anytime soon. The 29-year-old AEW star made it clear during Super Bowl week that he sees himself sticking around in professional wrestling for the long haul, potentially another 2 or even 3 decades. While appearing on Ross Tucker's show during Super Bowl festivities, the current 2-time AEW World Champion was asked about his age. MJF didn't hesitate with his response. Now, I'm 29 and I'm feeling fine, my friend. Yeah. I got a good probably 20 or 30 years left in my career or so. That's a bold prediction from someone who has already spent a significant proportion of his adult life inside the ring. MJF has built one of the most recognizable personas in AEW and has been open about wanting to continue wrestling even as opportunities outside the business grow. Despite dipping his toes into Hollywood, MJF has repeatedly stated that professional wrestling remains his priority. His long-term goal, he has suggested in past interviews, is to eventually transition into a part-time schedule, not to step away entirely, but to preserve his body and extend his in-ring longevity. At 29 years old, MJF is already a 2-time AEW world champion and one of the promotion's top stars. If he truly believes he has 20 or 30 years left, that would potentially put him competing well into his 50s. Given how the wrestling landscape has evolved, with many veterans staying active longer than ever, MJF's timeline might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. And listen, we've talked about this a lot. I said it here at the start. I said I think he's one of the best heels in the game. I really do. And I could see him going that long.
I think that's wishful thinking for all wrestlers, right? I think they all wish they could get back in the ring and be there for 3 more decades. Let's hope that, there's safe wrestling that's happening with him. He's on a show that tends to not be super safe. So, that puts a lot of harm in your body. It really does. I think MJF could be around as long as he wants to be, right? I think he's a fantastic star. I wish he was more popular than what he is, because really the average wrestling fan doesn't have a clue who he is, right? Let's be frank here. I mean, like, he's great. Love him. I just wish he was in greener pastures.
I agree. I think he would thrive in those greener pastures.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for the Ramblers for tonight. Until next time, though, Baron, how can they find you?
Find me on the Twitter at Scumbag Jordan with 3. Oh, and congrats on the number 1 contender, Penta.
That's right.
3 ends.
It's about time. We've been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
So you can follow me at Max Magus. You can follow the podcast at the Ramblers Pod. Find us over on Facebook. If you enjoyed tonight's show, hit the like button. If you aren't already subscribed, consider subscribing and maybe even hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever we go live. Now, get out there and watch some wrestling.
I concur. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon.